Yo, what's up everybody? It's Imran. We're diving into something we've all experienced, those dreaded error screens, the screens of death. Whether gaming, working, or browsing, these warnings can halt your digital world. From the infamous blue screen of death to the lesser-known brown screen of death, we're breaking down the causes and meanings. So if you're curious about what lurks beneath your tech, buckle up. Let's get started. Let's kick things off with the OG screen of death, the blue screen of death, or BSOD. This dreaded screen has been haunting computer users for decades, striking fear into the hearts of anyone who sees it. It's like the ultimate boss battle of computer errors. Just when you think everything is running smoothly, it appears out of nowhere, disrupting your workflow or gaming session. You're working on an important project or immersed in an intense gaming session, and bam! That blue screen hits, bringing everything to a screeching halt. It's a moment of pure frustration and helplessness. It means something's gone seriously wrong. The BSOD is Windows' way of telling you that it has encountered a critical error that it can't recover from without a restart. The BSOD appears when Windows encounters a critical error, often referred to as a stop error. This can be caused by a variety of issues, ranging from software problems to hardware failures. Corrupt drivers, faulty hardware, or power surges can trigger it. These issues can be tricky to diagnose and fix, often requiring a deep dive into your system's internals. Overclocking your CPU or GPU can also stress your system to the point of crashing. Pushing your hardware beyond its limits might give you better performance, but it also increases the risk of encountering the dreaded BSOD. It's the computer's way of saying, nope, can't handle this, gotta shut down. When you see that blue screen, it's a clear sign that your system needs some serious attention to get back on track. If the blue screen of death is a punch to the face, the black screen of death is like disappearing into thin air. 1 minute you're there, the next, poof, gone. It's a frustrating and often mysterious issue that leaves users feeling helpless and confused. It's been haunting users since Windows 3. X. Back then it was a rare but dreaded occurrence, a sign that something had gone terribly wrong. You hit the power button expecting your computer to come to life, but instead, nothing. No reassuring hum of the hard drive, no flicker of the screen. Just a blank, black screen. It's as if your computer has decided to take a permanent vacation. This can happen due to a critical system error during the boot process. Maybe a recent update went wrong, or a piece of hardware failed. Newer Windows versions can also fall victim, especially if the master boot record, MBR, is corrupted. The MBR is crucial for booting up your system, and if it's damaged, your computer can't find the operating system. It's not just Windows. Apple's iPhones and some Android devices have their own versions of the black screen of death. Imagine reaching for your phone, only to find it completely unresponsive. So, it's an equal opportunity nightmare. No device is immune, and it can strike at any time, leaving you scrambling for a solution. If you encounter it, it's time to troubleshoot. Start by checking the basics. Is the device plugged in? Is the battery charged? If those are fine, you might need to dig deeper. Access the BIOS or UEFI settings to see if the hardware is being recognized. Sometimes a simple change in settings can bring your device back to life. Running diagnostic tools can help identify the problem. These tools can scan for hardware issues, corrupted files, or other potential causes. In some cases, you might need to reinstall the operating system. This can be a last resort, but it often resolves the issue. Always remember to back up your data regularly. The black screen of death can strike without warning, and having a backup can save you a lot of headaches. With patience and the right approach, you can often overcome the black screen of death. And when you do, it's a relief like no other. Remember, technology can be unpredictable, but with a little perseverance, you can conquer even the most daunting challenges. Switching gears, let's talk about the red screen of death, or RSOD. This one signals issues with your graphics card or its drivers. You're about to hit an epic combo in a game, and suddenly, your screen turns red. The RSOD is notorious on older Windows versions due to incompatible graphics drivers. Gamers might encounter it on Sony PlayStation consoles. It's not just computers. The Amazon Kindle Fire tablet can also display a red error screen. If you encounter the RSOD, investigate those graphics drivers. Time to troubleshoot. Moving on to the green screen of death, or GSOD, infamous among Xbox One users. You're hyped for a game update, but instead, your console freezes with a green screen. This happens when something goes wrong during the update process. Sometimes the GSOD transitions into the black screen of death. The Nintendo Entertainment System also displays a green screen when it fails to start up. If you encounter the GSOD, it's a sign of software or update issues. Time to channel your inner tech support. Figure out what went wrong. Let's dive into the purple screen of death, or PSOD, notorious in virtualization with VMware ESXi servers. Imagine managing virtual machines, and suddenly, one server displays a purple screen. This indicates a fatal kernel error. It's like the engine of your car seizing up. The Nintendo DS can also display a purple screen if the PictoChat app is interrupted. If you encounter the PSOD, it's a serious system-level issue. Time to call in your IT department. Break out the big guns. Let's move on to the gray screen of death, notorious for plaguing the original Microsoft Surface running Windows 8.1 RT. This issue became a significant headache for many users who relied on their devices for daily tasks. Imagine this. You're browsing the web, catching up on the latest news, or maybe watching a video, and suddenly, without any warning, your screen fades to an ominous gray. It's a frustrating experience that leaves you feeling helpless. This bug surfaced after a Windows RT update in May 2015. The update, intended to improve the system, instead introduced a critical flaw that affected many users. It rendered the device unusable, preventing access to apps or settings. Users found themselves locked out of their own devices, unable to perform even the simplest tasks. Some users found temporary workarounds, such as restarting the device or attempting to roll back the update. However, a permanent fix often involved a full factory reset, which meant losing all personal data and settings. If you encounter the gray screen of death, it's a system software issue that requires immediate attention. Ignoring it can lead to further complications and potential data loss. Time to explore troubleshooting options. Start by checking online forums and support guides for any potential fixes that might have been discovered by other users. Channel your inner tech support guru. Sometimes, a bit of patience and persistence can go a long way in resolving these technical issues. If all else fails, don't hesitate to reach out to professional tech support for assistance. Let's talk about the white screen of death, or WSOD, infamous for haunting Apple devices. You're scrolling through Instagram, and suddenly, your screen turns white. This started after the iOS 7 update, causing devices to reboot endlessly. The touchscreen became unresponsive and apps wouldn't launch. Apple released updates to address the issue. If you encounter the WSOD, it's a software issue. Seek assistance from Apple support. Let's move on to the yellow screen of death, or YSOD, notorious in web development with ASP.NET applications. You've built a web app, and instead of a functional website, you're greeted by a yellow screen with error messages. This happens when your ASP.NET application encounters a fatal error. Firefox users might also encounter a yellow screen with invalid XML files. If you encounter the YSOD, it's a code issue. Time to debug. Unravel the mystery of the yellow screen. Put on your debugging hat. Let's wrap up with the brown screen of death, signaling trouble with your graphics hardware or software. You're immersed in a game, and suddenly your screen turns brown. This occurs when your graphics card is pushed to its limits. Gamers who overclock their CPUs and GPUs might encounter it more often. If you encounter the brown screen of death, update drivers and check for overheating. Give your graphics card some TLC. We've covered a lot, from the blue screen of death to the yellow and brown screens of death. The world of error screens is vast and ever-evolving. Sometimes it's not even a colorful screen that signals the end. It could be a cryptic error message or a frozen cursor. These error messages can provide valuable clues for diagnosing issues. They're like cryptic messages from the digital abyss. There's always a solution, even if it's hitting that restart button. So there you have it, a tour of the world of error screens. Now I want to hear from you. Have you encountered any of these screens of death? Share your experiences in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe for more tech deep dives. Until next time, keep your devices running smoothly. Peace out.